Welcome to Massive Beers. My name is Matt. We do the beer stuff here. New Trail Brewing. This is their Steep Climb Hazy IPA. Yeah, this is a brewed with oolong tea, hibiscus, mango, pineapple, and nectarine. A lot of stuff going on there. Piques my interest. Pause. New Trail. Thank you. I have come to find out they are dating their cans. They're dating their cans. It's been a long time coming. It's one of the reasons I really haven't done a bunch of their reviews, even though their beers are readily available to me. But now, I summoned in the comment section of a beer that I reviewed not too long ago. Said, yeah, now they're dating their cans on a reg now. It might have been Thai, maybe somebody else. But this one has 7-Eleven on it. We are talking about, it's July 28th, so we're talking about a 2-week-old beer. So we're here for it. Steep Climb Hazy IPA. 7% alcohol by volume. Citra, Nectaron, Nelson Sauvin, white wheat and oats for the grist. Notes of sunny florals, earthy tea, and juicy tropical fruits. It's a Williamsport, PA product. Done and done. Their label's alright. Not gonna hate on them. So let's dive into it. See what's what. Yeah, a lot going on in there. I'm a huge fan of tea. In a hazy, I think tea and beer is actually a quite underrated addition. I don't think a lot of people do it, but I dig it when people do. Hibiscus, again, big hibiscus flower in a beer. Hazy IPA, bigger IPA might get lost a little bit. We'll see. And whenever you're adding those tropical fruits, you can actually have it go in a bunch of different directions, but hopefully it goes in a good one here. Anyway, that looks quite a bit darker than what you'd want a traditional hazy IPA to come out. But tea, hibiscus being a big one, that's, really brings a red coloration to a beer. And all the other bits and pieces, we're not going to sit here and talk about oxidative assumptions because it doesn't have that look to it. It looks more of a dyed edition as opposed to an oxidative edition. It comes off more of a peachy color as opposed to a brown. Let's put it that way. So we're going to chalk up that color to all the additions. Even the head, I don't even know if you can kind of get an idea of the head. The head has a tint to it. So we think that's coming from those additions, more specifically the hibiscus. Let's see what the nose has. Man, that smells good. I think this is going to be a really fun beer because what I think you're going to end up here. So, New Trail makes really good hazies. They do a really good job. I'm not saying they don't make really good other beers. Their Pils is great and all that stuff, but they're, predominantly heavy into the hazy game. They can do a really good job of it. But the combination what they're going for here, which is hibiscus, tea, and then on the other side of things, tropical fruit. You're getting the base IPA and what I assume is going to be this kind of earthy, floral earthy too, because the hibiscus and the tea is going to bring this tannic bittering kind of portion of the show. A little floral on top of that, but tannic bittering. And then that fruit juice, and more specifically the fruits they chosen here, the mango, pineapple, and nectarine, is a little bit more of kind of a cheek-pulling, acidic kind of tartness. I think you're going to have this nice kind of interplay between those on top of what's hopefully a really nice IPA. But the reason why I'm talking about that is because you're getting all of that on the nose. You're getting a bit of that tea in there. You're getting a big portion of tropical fruit. And it has this almost Berliner-like kind of acidic kind of vibe to the nose aromatically. Not saying that's what's gonna come through in the taste. I think we're gonna be a bit more or decent about more traditional, but I think those additions of those tropical fruits are bringing that portion to the table, and that little bit of tea-like, tannic-like vibe, which I think is going to be quite a bit kind of dialed up actually in the taste. A lot of assumptions going on here, but a very cool nose and a very aggressive, explosive, without being too over the top kind of nose. We just got to dive into taste. Cheers, y'all. I like it. I don't love it, but I like it. It's a cool beer. It's a cool beer from the cut they're taking, from the swing they're taking at it. Let's talk about negatives, because we want to end with positives. Mouthfeel. It feels like, and I'm not saying I thought it was going to go this way. When you're having all of those moving parts in a beer, it can definitely affect mouthfeel, and I think that's the case here. It's not criminally thin. There's like flatness to it. You can obviously see this beer is not flat. It is perfectly carbonated. I mean, you swirl it, comes back like a dream. But the way your mouth perceives it, and I think that has to do with, more specifically, the tea and the little bit of added fruitiness, the tropical fruitiness in here, I think kind of tempers that mouthfeel, at least the perception of that mouthfeel in the taste. And that oolong can definitely dry things out. And definitely add this kind of softness to your tongue, but not in a way that's good, like a pillowy softness. Kind of like neutralizes the mouthfeel, along with that little bit of acidic fruitiness. I think that's what you're coming on here, or has. Pause. Words are hard. What you have coming on here. So there's that, and there is a lack of sweetness. It's a touchy subject because I think, as a whole, I think a lot of IPAs tend to be overly sweet. So I'm not team sweet. I'm team undersweet. But because of the tannic properties here, because of hibiscus, because of oolong more specifically, because of the hops in here, I think it dries out quite a bit more aggressively than it should. And I would actually appreciate just a touch more sweetness to this. Maybe a little extra dose of oats, even a micron of lactose to this to add this soft sweet to it. I don't want a milkshake IPA. I just want that little bit of extra kind of soft sweetness to it. I think it makes for a much more world-class IPA. Now, let's take those nitpicks, throw them off to the side. It's a really fun beer. You're getting all the portions of the show here. You're getting the beer portion of the show. You're getting the oolong tea, which is the star of the show here. I believe you're getting that hibiscus. It's probably a second or third player, but it's definitely in there. And then on the fruit portion of the show, you're getting it. It's a kind of an underripened kind of thing when it comes to the fruit additions here, but they're definitely in place because that portion of the sweetness where you get a little touch of sweetness, a little touch of acidity, you can tell that's derived from a fruit addition as opposed to just something that's manifested itself from hops. So you're getting all the bits and pieces of what to make this beer cool. I just think there's a couple moving parts to it. There's just a little bit herky-jerky that leave it just a little bit wanting more. Now, listen, I got a 4-pack of this. I'm not hating on this 4-pack. This will be drank. This 4-pack will be enjoyed. But I just think it's more of a conversation where this beer could have been out of this world. Amazing. And it just fell short because of the reasons that I listed. At least for me. And that's what we talk about here. What I feel, what I see, what I taste. And that's where I land on this. So fun beer. Fun beer. I absolutely 100% enjoy the cut. Breweries, when they do stuff like this, and hibiscus, oolong tea, all these fruits thrown into a beer, it's such a cool risk to take, and I enjoy the fact that they're doing it. So that in and of itself, that gets on Mount Rushmore. It's just the beer itself is a fun beer that's just in there, just not towards the top as far as Mount Rushmore goes. So value and availability, I want to say this was like decently priced, and by that I mean it was a 7% IPA. I want to say it was like $17. But when you think about how many additions in this with the unique ingredients, it's a lot of stuff going in a beer. So to keep this, most breweries, when they do all that stuff in a beer like this, you're looking at 20 plus. So I appreciate the price point on it and leave you with, if you like what we like this beer. If you like breweries trying to do cool, fun things with beer without being too kooky madooky, you will dig this. There you go. Review on the books. New Trail. Have you been to the brewery? Have you had their beers? What's your favorite beer from New Trail? Have you had this beer? I'm really curious to your thoughts. All that fun stuff down there. Hopefully you enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying tea and hibiscus beer right now because those kind of rock. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers, y'all.